Have you been looking for feedback on your YouTube channel? Would you like someone who does YouTube full time to just take a look at all the pieces of your channel and give you feedback? Well, I'm excited because on today's episode of the YouTube Made Simple show, I am joined by my special guest, Rob from vidIQ, and we're going to spend the next hour reviewing your channels and giving you all the feedback to help you succeed on YouTube this year. Welcome back to the YouTube Made Simple show. My name is Heather Torres. I'm your host of this show here on the Think Media podcast. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already subscribed here on this channel. We do have our main channel, which focuses on the tips and tools to help you grow your YouTube channel. But here on the podcast, we love to go deeper into YouTube tactics and more about the content creator themselves. We've got episodes all about how to handle unsupportive spouses, how to get your productivity up as a content creator, and even how to make your first 6 to 7 figures here on YouTube. So make sure you're subscribed here on the channel. Now, I'm excited because we are jumping into live channel reviews today, and I am joined by none other than one of my favorite co-hosts from the vidIQ team, Rob. Welcome to the show, Rob. How you doing?
Hey, Heather. Thank you for having me on once again. I'm so delighted that you still consider me a special guest, not just a average run-of-the-mill regular guest. And hello to all of you Think Mediarites. I do just want to say a special shout out to the Creepypasta, Go Girls, Farmer King George. I was in the chat for 20 minutes beforehand, just having a casual conversation, as well as Axel as well. So just hello to all of you for conversing. And it's a special week for most of us creators, Heather, in that typically we would be at VidCon, but for travel restrictions, I'm unable to travel right now. It's like good news, bad news. I've just become a Canadian citizen, but I don't have a passport, so I can't travel. But I've got that, audit itch. So you inviting me on here is going to satisfy my need to audit here, there, and everywhere. Looking forward to it.
I love it. Yes, Sean is actually at the vidIQ booth today doing channel audits. So we're auditing everyone everywhere today. I'm feeling a little FOMO because I'm not at, I'm not there, but at the same time, we get to be here, right, Rob, in our studios at home. And while I think it's fun to hang out with a bunch of people in real life, I actually love the virtual crowd that we get, like Box Expression. We've got Flips Find Fun. Daryl is here. So I'm excited for our virtual fam that gets to join us live. Well, let's get into a couple of channel reviews. Rob, if you want to grab the first one, here's how we're going to do channel reviews. So if you would like your channel reviewed today and you are on YouTube, all you need to do is raise your hand by giving us the raised hand emoji or just saying, yes, please review my channel. Our team is in the back and they will actually grab your channel for us. We're going to do these in no particular order. Rob and I are just going to be bringing the most value we can to you based on the experiences that we have had by coaching hundreds of entrepreneurs and content creators and what is working on YouTube right now. If you're joining us live on Facebook or from one of our groups, we want to welcome you here as well. You can drop it over on Facebook and our team will grab that there. But I'm seeing raised hands like crazy. And again, there's no way to really get in the front of the line here. It's just going to be all random selection to get you the best channel reviews possible. We'll spend a few minutes on each review, and vidIQ has some amazing tools that we're going to be sharing with you here inside of this live. So if you have your vidIQ tool ready to go, if you don't, you can download it right now by going to vidiq.com/think. And when you open up your vidIQ, there's so many incredible tools. We're going to be showing you some of those today during this channel review period. But Rob, what is the first channel you have? If you want to share your screen, I will pull it up for you and we'll get that ready.
Good point. I completely forgot to do that. There we are. I am sharing my screen now, and we want to say hello to Christy Davis. First of all, congratulations already on the phenomenal success your channel has had so far. 110,000 subscribers. I hope that silver play button has arrived or is very imminent. From the channel banner, and from the thumbnails in general, I'm getting a very strong vibe about what your value proposition is, in that you're going to help people with a certain diet, be it keto, low carb, type 1 diabetic. So already I know if I'm in the right place or the wrong place as a viewer. That's fantastic to see. If I was to critique your thumbnails, and this is going to be a very general observation, because what I do appreciate is that in certain niches, there is a certain style of thumbnail. For example, in the shopping haul genre, the thumbnails can be quite chaotic and busy. And I'm getting a similar vibe from the thumbnails here, which may be good for the general audience, but I'm wondering if there's an opportunity here to test new things. When I look at all of the thumbnails, I can't see a certain focus on a particular food that you could maybe promote in particular, and then tell me, how low the carbs are on that, or a very interesting, vital piece of nutritional information to focus on one particular thing. That's where I may be experimenting with in terms of the thumbnails. And I see that like the views to subscribe ratio is around about 5 to 10%. So it looks as if you may be getting a lot of search traffic. People maybe subscribe for 1 or 2 videos, but then you're not sustaining their interest. That is a challenge for channels such as you. And we do sometimes go to the lowest denominator here, sort by most popular. And I'm seeing that you have various videos from a few years ago that were very successful. And to borrow a Think Media phrase, success leaves clues. Did I get that right, Heather? Have I
You
remembered
did.
that phrase? Yeah, there we go.
You did.
Maybe it's worth revisiting some of these videos. Like you went to Aldi and you had a net carb bread, keto friendly. Could you do that again? Like, have they got any new products in that particular area? Or could you go to Lidl? You've been to Lidl as well, like, because I think this may be a UK shopping channel as well. So is it an opportunity to go to Asda, go to Waitrose, go to all of the different UK shopping brands that I'm trying to remember because I haven't lived there for many years? But, can you visit all of these shops and do versus and compare videos? Perhaps you already have, but on the first impressions, those are some of the things I may be looking at for your channel, Chrissy. But congratulations on the success so far.
Woohoo! Really awesome. I love being able to see channels that are just starting to rise, that are really starting to take the things that we say and putting them into practice. It's always good to see those. All right, my first review is going to come from Lego Head Production AZ. And I am a huge Lego fan. I don't know about you, Rob. Are you a Lego fan?
Huge. I've already filled up my apartment with Lego, and we're buying a new house so that I can buy new Lego stuff. My pride and joy is the Avengers helicarrier, 3,500 pieces. Took me 3 weeks to build. Love it. Now I want to build something else.
Yeah, I have 2 kiddos, I have 3 kiddos, but 2 that are still very much into Legos. Our entire section of the garage is from, ceiling to floor Lego bins. I always tell my friends that I should own stock in Lego at this point with all the Legos that grandparents seem to give them. But let's go ahead and look at a few things that you're doing. Now, what I'm seeing here first, Rob, is that Lego Heads is going straight into short form video. And you're doing short form video, but I am seeing, when I'm even seeing like your titling for these, I want you to work on your titling, because right now I'm not being grabbed by the title. Like this one, here we go. Here's an example. If you hate your roommate, #short, that's a good title, and it's 1.6K views in 4 days. But if you go over a little bit more, okay, this is a more longer form video, so I messed that one up. But right here, you'll never believe this figure is rare. I think it's good, but I would maybe blur out the figure so you don't even know what the figure is. So title, thumbnail, objective there. And I was watching this video, so I wanted to see. So what he's doing too. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna lower the volume here. Come on, volume. There we go. What I'm noticing, that's not really good. Let me move back here. what I'm noticing that you're doing is you're not actually showing your head. So this is what I would call a faceless channel. And I'm going to pull this back up because now my internet's deciding not to do the channel. Wouldn't that be great, right? On the
Good old
day of doing
StreamYards.
reviews.
It
Yeah.
always does
Yeah.
that.
Always works on these days. Okay. So you're not showing your face. So it is kind of like a faceless channel. Let me go up here to the top part. And I like to recommend this here. You don't actually, so this is my second channel. You can just put the name of that, or you can say to watch more, go here. But I would keep people on this channel. I wouldn't actually send them to your next channel. I would keep them here, and I would use this place right up top. This is for all creators. You should use this place up top to send someone to go deeper with you. So it does not need to be subscribing. If you are a content creator who sells courses, or you sell merch, or you sell coaching, or you're a real estate agent, you want them to go here with this. You don't necessarily want them to just subscribe on your channel. Also, this is great for an avatar too. I'm just seeing this just Lego head because you are faceless, so that makes sense. And when I'm scrolling through, what are your most popular videos? That's what I like to check next. So most popular videos. Looks like your shorts are working. So I think you're doing a really good job. I also want to compliment you on your thumbnails. Rob, you talk about this a lot and having that contrasting color. And I even like here how he made the outline of the actual Lego that is on gray, that is gray, have green around it. So I think you are doing great. I would probably tap into what is popular with Lego right now. So there's a couple different types of videos that you could be creating. And I would really recommend that you do trend surfing when it comes to the Lego space. So what is like the hot new Legos set out right now? What could you be doing that that people are already searching? What's the trend happening in your space that you could go deeper on? So that would be my review for you so far. And I want to compliment you too on your uploads. 5 uploads in the last 30 days. So congratulations. And this is a cool way to see some stats, Rob, by vidIQ. You hit stats and you can actually see this creator is growing by 8,000 views in the last 30 days, 33 subscribers, and 5 video uploads. You are what we call, my friend, going for green, and you are winning. So great job for going for green on all of your stats that are available there. Do want to let you know that if you've already raised your hand for a channel review, you do not need to repost it over and over and over. Our team is grabbing those. In no particular order, we'll be doing those. But if you've already raised your hand for a review, no need to keep raising your hand. I saw some people just back to back to back to back, and we want to keep the chat clean and ready to go. If you have a question about channel reviews as well, you can ask that in the chat and we can get to some questions. But Rob, who do you have next?
Just to add there, Heather, you said going for green. That must mean they are a sustainable creator.
Yes.
How'd you like that? I just wanted to add as well to the Lego channel that we were looking at. I quickly just fed the simple phrase Lego figures into our AI title generator, because this is something that can just take a keyword and make some really intriguing, curious titles. And so, you know, any creator who has vidIQ Boost is able to take advantage of this. And we've got some interesting suggestions for Lego, like Lego, what's the best Lego figure? 8 essential Lego figures you must have. Lego figures, a comparison of the best-selling sets. And if you're not happy with any of these, you just simply click refresh, and then you can have another bunch of suggestions. And you know, you can tailor it a little bit. You can put in Star Wars, Lego figures, and it will always essentially churn out some really interesting, intriguing titles, because that's one of the things you were looking at, Heather. So that's just a little plug for one of our new tools that we're really excited about here at vidIQ. But now we're going to look at Through a Darkly Glass. This channel has 300 subscribers. And what I was noticing from this channel is that, credit to their commitment to consistency, they are publishing, I would say, 2 or 3 videos a week, several videos a week. And when I look at just, you know, the consistency on brand content, like the thumbnails are very consistent. It looks like they're staying on topic consistently. And I think that's been rewarded in their view counts, Heather, because if you look to like 2 or 3 months ago, they were getting 40 views, 100 views, 200 views. If I go to their most recent views, they're starting to get 300 views as a minimum, 600 views, 500 views. And so this is clear evidence that you have established your target audience and you are continuing to feed that target audience with every single video that you make, so that when YouTube puts your latest thumbnail on the homepage, people instinctively say, ah, yeah, I've already watched this creator. I like what they make. I'm going to click on this next video and watch what's coming up. Now, with that being said, again, there are a few thumbnail tweaks I would suggest. Personally, I wouldn't be including the season number and episode number in there, because a brand new viewer could see season 1, episode 73 and think, blimey, that's a lot of episodes I need to catch up on before I can watch this creator's latest video. And I would take the text in the bottom right-hand corner, which is covered up a little bit sometimes by the timestamp, and place it in the top left-hand corner where you currently have the season number and episode number, because I just don't think it's needed necessarily for the video pitch. Same in the title as well. I would flip it. I would have the important aspects in terms of who you're talking about, whether it be Sean McFate to David Morehouse, or any of other Stephen Lawson. I would put that front and center, and I would be putting the episode number at the very end of a title, or perhaps not even including it in the title. I think that's something that you can talk about very early on when somebody clicks on a video, what season number you are, what episode number you are, because you don't want to create barriers to entry for that new viewer. You just want to get the pitch for that video to really see it into the viewer's mind in 2 seconds to get them to click, and then worry about the progression of the series that you're on once somebody's watching.
Wow. Really, really great, Rob. Thank you so much for that one. I am excited because I have a channel that has just started, and I'd love to maybe bring up Rob. Let's do some titling for this one, because I see that he's already starting to ride this trend, but there may be a way that we could give him some title ideas. And this channel is the Finance with Eric channel. And what I like about what Eric is doing, he just got started on YouTube. And what I like about what he's doing is, well, one, he actually is doing Faceless art channel. What is this called? Art channel? They're not art channels. It's a doodle channel. Is that what it's called? Where he's doing a voiceover, and he has the graphics coming up to explain those pieces of his to explain the video, which I think is a really cool way to make videos on YouTube. But if we can look up maybe inflation, Rob, because that is a huge talking point at this moment. And I see that he's already starting with inflation and recession simply explained. I would actually think that this is going to be a rising trend in the next few months. And so what are some ideas, Rob, that we have from the vidIQ tool of what types of videos he could be creating?
So there's 2 ways to look at this from a vidIQ perspective. You can just look at the keyword itself, and I've typed in inflation. The numbers for this are good, ironically, in that the search volume is high and there's not as much competition as there might be. So currently, demand outweighs supply, which means that you as a creator should probably get in there with your own education on the subject. Here's a tool that we've recently introduced, which I think is awesome, especially for search-based channels. It will take a keyword and turn it into questions down in this bottom left right-hand corner. So I put in inflation, and it's giving me 300 potential questions. And the one that really intrigues me here, Heather, look at this one: how to profit from inflation. That is a really intriguing title for a creator to try and work with, in terms of saying that, you know, for 99% of people, inflation is a bad thing. But for those who understand it and leverage it the best, you know, just like creators understanding new tools, that could be something that could be really profitable if you watch this video. And then, yeah, there's another 300 suggestions here. So you can generate like enough ideas here to keep you occupied for the next year on inflation. Going back to the titles, I did just throw in our title generator: inflation, what's a big deal? What is inflation? 7 ways to combat inflation in real estate. You're not happy with any of them, just refresh it, and you've got a bundle more suggestions. Inflation in different countries. Inflation increases. I like this one. What's your next move? Should you pull all of your money out of cryptocurrency and put it in gold or silver? Or, you know, again, I have no idea about financial advice. This is not legal advice, of course. but you should probably invest all of your money right now under your mattress. That's what I'm going to suggest.
That's what I'm doing too, Rob. I'm
Yeah.
doing that exact same amazing financial plan. And I
Or
love that.
buy
So
like these helmets and things, because they've probably actually increase in value, you know, like Marvel superhero toys and stuff.
toys, that's what you should invest in right now.
Tangible toys. Yeah, that's what we're going to
Tangible
suggest.
toys. This is not financial advice. We are YouTube auditors. But I just want to also say congratulations. I see you've been creating content. Your first video was mathematic analysis 3 months ago, but I can tell you actually decided to go all in on the finance niche. And Rob, he's already at 1,000 subscribers. So you are on your way with your views to be able to thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
sound effects. I like
Monetization, here we
that.
come, hopefully.
I like that. You are on your way to being able to get monetized on YouTube. And I can let you know that this is a great space to be in if you want to be monetized on YouTube. Now, some other types of videos you could be creating. I loved how Rob gave you those pieces of advice. Versus videos, you could be reviewing apps or different places that different software that people could be using to be a good investor, a wise investor. There's a lot of different types of videos you can do. And I just want to say congrats on getting over 4 videos, which is 1 video per week. That's what we recommend here. 1 video per week happening on your channel. So you've got the consistency down and you're starting to make videos in the right niche. So great job on that. Who do you have next, Rob?
I am looking at Sketches and Scrubs. They are at 2,300 subscribers. And just instinctively, again, looking at the channel banner, looking at the thumbnails, if I'm into art and into, I guess, watercolors or similar, I already know I'm in the right place. And that's a fantastic place to be in for a creator. I'm not having to figure out what this channel's about exactly. If I'm part of a target audience, I'm going to be starting to hunt around which videos are of particular interest. And again, just from first impressions, the numbers look good to me as well, Heather, in that the channel has 2,000 subscribers, and some of these videos are getting close to the number of subscribers, or just a little under 2,000 views, 1,000 views, 850 views. Very strong stuff. Thumbnails, again, I think are of a particular strength here in that usually what I would recommend to most creators is a few dominant colors on their thumbnails. But I think in this art area, in particular, when you have a collection of colors and almost that organized chaos type of vibe where you can see many different colors, but it's still clear what the thumbnail is trying to illustrate. I like that style as well. And I'm actually at a point here, Heather, where I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, what do I really recommend here? Because the channel is growing efficiently. They've got good numbers. In this case, it's like continue doing what you're doing. Obviously, the general advice: go to your most popular, see what you can improve there. Yeah, because everything's so consistent, Heather. I'm struggling to pick out like anything that they're doing wrong necessarily. As I
That's
scroll
my
down the list.
favorite though. That means that that she's being consistent, she's making good content. I would say in a case like this, it's do more of what's already working. Great
Yeah,
job on what you have going. And here's maybe one of the tips. When you've got consistency down, when you've got the niche that you're in down, when you're already making great content, now I want you to work on your business. So I want you to be thinking about the revenue streams. I don't know, Rob, if she has a website ready to go. How can people contact you? How can people purchase from you?
sure.
That would be the next piece that I would say, because you want to be having multiple streams of income happening on your channel. This is a marketing arm of the pieces that you can actually be creating when it comes to financing this as well. So great job. I think this is a well exampled channel
Yeah.
of someone who's really understanding how YouTube works.
Descriptions are well stacked with links to other pieces of content. It looks like they've got affiliate links, and also that's a really cool emoji. I want to start using that. This little like spinny thing. I've never seen that before. I guess the one thing I may suggest, or you may want to experiment with here, and possibly not on this channel, test it on a second channel to begin with, is shorts, because
Mhm.
your videos are quite long. It looks like they're often live streams, or at least 20 minutes. I'm wondering if you can experiment with time lapsing these into almost like visually satisfying drawings using some popular music. That might be something to experiment with. But I always suggest, if you've never done short form content and you don't want to disrupt the flow of your channel and your audience's expectations, just try it on a experimental shorts channel to begin with.
Really, really smart. And yes, she is launching Ko-Fi in a week. So that's
Nice.
great to be able to have a revenue stream for your YouTube channel. All right. Well, this question came in from Christian Rocker. Question: best way to monetize and build a brand from a reaction channel. What advice do you have, Rob? And I'll tack on mine after yours.
I'm glad you asked me first, because you probably got a ton of really good answers and you would have stolen one of mine. I think it's tapping in to the rituals of your tribe. And what I mean by that is, if you have like funny catchphrases, or like you have funny facial expressions, you can maybe print that onto t-shirts and turn it into merch, that type of thing. And I think perhaps the other thing you might be looking to do is tie into potential brand sponsorship deals. For example, if you're reacting to the latest Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi franchise series, by the way, what did you think of that in the chat? I kind of give it a 6 out of 10. I thought it was all right. Could have been a little bit better, but I enjoyed it. Anyway, I'm waffling at this point. But what I was going to say is, if you're reacting to a certain television series, then try and think of brand or sponsorship deals that relate to it, whether it be, Lego Star Wars could have been a perfect example of this, or if it's Stranger Things, I don't know, maybe you can promote the Dungeons and Dragons has been a very popular part of that. So those would be my thoughts. What about you, Heather?
Yeah, you are hitting the nail on the head there, Rob. I would say, wow, I felt like a DJ at that point. Like radio DJs where they say that. Yeah, at this point, if your reaction channel, that is entertainment. And so entertainment channels really grow and create brands by, one, getting massive views. So riding trends, because you can be paid to be a content creator on YouTube. Branding it out, like Rob said. I would even say creating some type of paid membership, like Rob said, because that helps you to go deeper. So one of our examples is we have a reaction channel that he reacts to music, and Leonardo Torres actually created several streams of income. So he's got brand deals coming in, he's getting paid by YouTube, he has super chats where he goes live and he'll make a few $100s in a day just from super chats, because people are interested in the content that he has, and he has different ways for people to be involved. So I would say it's not just about being a reaction channel, it's about creating experiences. So how can you create experiences and build a tribe around you that's interested in what you're doing? And I've seen very successful reaction channels happen because they understand that it's about the community. It's not about them, it's about the community. So how can you be creating epic experiences to that? Movie review channels. So we have someone in our community that does movie review channels, and inside of his membership group, they had an entire discussion, Rob, actually on the Star Wars, because he always giving his advice, and they were having back and forth conversation inside of that paid community. So there's a lot of different ways you can go deeper with the reaction style channels. And I think it's one of the best ways to grow on YouTube, because you are riding trends. A reaction channel is riding trends, and so that helps you to get in the algorithm more, helps your brand grow, and I think it's a great way to get started. All right, who do we have next, Rob?
We are looking at Banksy the Eye Racer. And again, channel banner, first impressions. I think this is a gaming racing channel. It can sometimes be a little deceptive.
No way. That
Especially
looks
for
so real to me, Rob.
exactly. When you look at these thumbnails, you think, this is real, right? And sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But just from mousing over, I'm seeing that there's a person probably in a gaming setup, ready to do some online game racing, I believe. Thumbnails, again, for a channel of a relatively small size, are pretty fantastic. They really pop out of the screen. Some of these are a little repetitive, but that might be because they are live streams. And this is a tricky thing. I don't know if it is for you, Heather, because we do like a weekly live stream, which is channel audits, and we've been using the same thumbnail for about 18 months. And I decided that maybe I need to create a collection of 4 or 5 different thumbnails, because even if I don't know what's going to happen in the live streams, channel audits can go in any which way, shape, or form. I felt as if I needed like one with like a dark mode thumbnail, a light mode thumbnail, maybe the icons a little bit differently. And as soon as I changed the thumbnails from week to week, we've seen an increase of 20% in our audience.
Wow.
Because I think it's a case of they're familiar with our branding, but it's a different thumbnail. So maybe it's something they haven't seen before or a new live stream. So even though, and what I'm highlighting here is that all of these thumbnails, I think, as far as I'm aware, are exactly the same. And these are coming up pretty regularly. So perhaps creating a catalog of different thumbnails for a live stream might be of a suggestion. And then the other thing I wanted to ask here is, how popular is this game? I think it's iRacing, as far as I'm aware. I'm curious to know what the audience size is for this, and just doing a quick search on YouTube to try and find out how many views other channels are getting. It's good that there's, I would say, a high recycling of content, because if you go to the search bar and you're seeing the videos at the top of the search rankings are like 10 years old, then maybe there's not that much interest anymore. But these are being made relatively recently, but the view counts aren't necessarily that high. I mean, we've got this channel here, iRacing. How big are they? They've got 200,000 subscribers, and their recent videos are getting 7,000 subscribers, 25,000 subscribers. Is very limited audience for this topic. And that might mean that there's a ceiling for this channel, and especially for smaller channels, because what tends to happen is when there's a relatively small audience for a topic, then a few channels tend to dominate it, and it's hard for anybody else to muscle in. So that is maybe something to consider. I'm not saying that they should stop playing this game, but are there crossover games? Like, is there any similarities here between this and something a lot more popular, such as Forza 5, for example? And that's where you can maybe do versus videos. So you're not just going to a completely different game, you're comparing one game to another. And then just final point, all of these videos are relatively long. Has this creator experimented with shorter videos, maybe 5 minutes or less? This might be the best clips from your live stream, or something that's a little more educational, how to, because it could be that for this audience, the commitment of 1 hour, 40 minutes for a live stream, or 20 minutes for a video on demand, is perhaps too much. And if you haven't experimented with shorter form content, then maybe that is something to take a look at.
Woo! What a review, Rob. I love that. People were excited about that one inside of the chat, and the chat is on fire. So you can keep raising your hand if you'd like to get a channel review, and I will have a next channel that comes up. But this is a great question from Short for Matt. How would you build a gaming channel focused on live streaming and gameplay walkthroughs? I know you're more of an expert of the gaming side than I am, Rob. So what is your advice for him there?
And I'm thinking, I wish Dan was here to just
me too.
Again, just bring Dan in, and he would help out. Okay, so there is a word there that scares me whenever I see it, and that is walkthrough. So I want to caution here, because we audit so many channels that do walkthrough gaming, and what we see is that they make like 200 videos over the course of a year, and they're still getting less than 10 views per video. And it might not necessarily because their content is bad, or they're not focused enough. This area is so competitive and has been done for so long on YouTube. And so just unfortunately, through, we're talking about supply and demand earlier on, you're at such a disadvantage already, because there are so many walkthrough channels already. And my advice, but this is just my general advice, is that I would be focusing not necessarily on the walkthrough element of it, but of the educational element of how to get better at this game, how to get more experience, what are the secrets that you would want to find. That's how I would possibly be thinking about pitching it to an audience, instead of saying in the title something along the lines of Elden Ring walkthrough episode 49. Because just unfortunately, there's so many people that have already done that, and there's such larger creators doing that, and you have to try and find your USP in that place, and that can be a really difficult thing to do. And so just when I see the word walkthrough, it does send shivers through my spine, just because we've audited so many channels that get stuck in that space, and they keep throwing stuff against the wall expecting something different to happen, and it doesn't. So unless you already have some proof of concept that your audience is building through walkthroughs, I would try and approach this area a little bit differently.
Yes. Good advice, Rob. I'll leave it at that, because I think that you you definitely picked up on the one thing I was going to say as well, which was walkthroughs. I want to bring up the next question, and then we'll do a couple more channel reviews. But this one I thought was really good. This is from Pots and Pans. Really great name, by the way, because I know exactly what you do, right? Cooking. What are some of the best thumbnails for a cooking channel? And my advice for anyone who really wants to figure out how to make great thumbnails, especially around food or around products, is I want you to study other channels. If there's one thing that you can see, it's what is already actually working. So I typed into my YouTube search bar best summer salad, because I wanted to see what would come up. And I found this channel, Honeysuckle. Now, Honeysuckle is at 1.2 million subscribers right now. And it looks like she's been actually on YouTube for a while. She's almost at 100 million views.
Just shy,
so,
60,000 shy of 100 million.
I mean, come on, Honeysuckle. And she's got a cookbook. And so I want you to be studying the greats. I want you to be studying what's already working on YouTube. And here's a couple things that I can see. One, it's light and fresh. Like, I want these cheesecake. This looks amazing. Is that what it says? Cheesecakes? Okay. This looks amazing. 5 breakfasts. I want these. I cannot make this, but I want this. Some of the things I'm seeing too is she is actually putting herself in the photo. And I think that's because she's definitely built brand over time, because look at her previous photos, did not have her in them. So when you look at her previous thumbnails, it's all light and airy. And I think that's a big thing around food photography. I want to encourage you to actually look up on YouTube how to do food photography, because you should be using different ways to be diffusing light onto the subject, which would be the food, to make beautiful photography. Now, on a different side, this is Cowboy Kent. He's one of our students inside of Video Ranking Academy. And you'll notice here that his thumbnails, it's all about the meat. It's all about the barbecue. It's all about, it's all about the stews. And you'll notice that it's kind of the same thumbnail over and over and over, just a different Kent and the food. So you need to figure out what style is best for you. But I'm going to recommend that you maybe take a course on how to do food photography, because your title and your thumbnail matter so much to get someone to click through to actually watch the video. So you want to make sure you're actually getting great thumbnails designed so that you can do that. All right. Well, hey, this video is brought to you by vidIQ. I've got none other than Rob from vidIQ here. So if you're just joining us, welcome to our live stream where we go live and review your channels here, giving you tips and tools. And our tool of the week is vidIQ. It is one of the tools that we use every single day here at Think Media. And you can get your first 30 days at vidiq.com/think. Rob, you've already showed us one of the cool tools when it comes to vidIQ, but I just love seeing all of the different features that are available on YouTube when you have vidIQ installed. Do you want to show us just a few of those different tools, Rob?
Yeah, let's do a quick whistle-stop tour through some of our stuff then. I mean, the most favorite tool, I always say, and it's one of the free tools, is your channel checkup real-time stats bar. So no matter where you are on YouTube, I can just quickly mouse over and find out that our channel is getting 3,500 views per hour. We're up 13% on views over the last 7 days. I just love being able to check in on that without having to go to the YouTube studio. But on a more research-based perspective, what we have here is a tool called views per hour, and it can tell us how many views a video is getting, even if it's been published years before. For example, we have this video here from an a cappella group singing the UEFA Europa League theme tune, I believe. And even though it's a year old, it's still getting 116 views per hour. And when you're researching channels in your own space, I mean, I will confess, I'm not going to lie, I sometimes go to Think Media's channel and I have a little bit of spy on their channel and I find out what videos are performing well for them right now. And it was showing me that some of videos like are getting, 22 views per hour, 26 views per hour, 23 views per hour. So that looks to be the average, but there were some videos that are probably getting lots more views per hour. If I can maybe find one on the screen. Are there any that are still getting lots of views per hour on the channel, Heather? Oh,
all of our videos, Rob. All of our videos are.
Well, what you can do is you can click on the trending screen, and then that's going to shuffle all the videos around, and then say, right. So, Think Media has this weird thing that they put out these sound effects, and they get tons and tons of views from it. Like these ones from 5 months ago still gets 200 views per hour. I'm starting to think, Heather, that the Think Media empire should have a little side business where you're just doing royalty-free sound effects. Maybe have your own channel doing that, because man, you are pulling in the views there, which is pretty spectacular. So that's another form of research. If I wanted to be even sneakier, what I could do is use the add competitor tool up here. And then this is going to add it to the list of other competitors that I'm following, including Brian G. Johnson, Colin and Samir, Film Booth, etc., etc. And we can see how our videos and other videos are performing together. And if there are any breakout topics in our competitive space, that tells us that maybe we need to make a video on that topic as well. So that's just like, I was just randomly scrolling through some of our tools. I've already picked out 4 there, but it's literally just the tip of the iceberg of what we offer here at vidIQ with the fantastic offers that you have as our affiliate, Heather.
Well, I hope everyone gets their vidIQ installed. Let us know actually in the chat. Do you already have vidIQ? Is it already installed? Because there's so many great features on there that you could get. If you're raising your hand right now, you only need to raise your hand one time. Our team is grabbing all the channels. We are randomly selecting them. We're going to head into the second half of our channel reviews. And I'm excited, Rob, because I want to do a little bit of keyword and title research for the Cello online, because I love when we get to pull up unique and interesting channels. This is a cello teacher. And I love that Clay already has different programs that he's offering. So he's making money. He's doing video exchange lessons. So you can get lessons online from this cello teacher. And he's breaking into the shorts. His cello bow tape actually just got 3.4 thousand subscribers over the last 8 days. So let's give some channel ideas to the Cello online. What do you have, Rob?
Okay, just doing a quick search here again in our keyword research, related keywords. We've got cover music. Apparently, love songs, cello covers is something that's quite popular as well. Questions. I'm always looking at questions here. How to make a cello tape. How to train your dragon cello. I guess maybe somebody's done a popular cover version of that. So lots of suggestions here. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know what's going to come up here. I'm just going to put in cello for our title recommendation. It may not have enough of a keyword here, but I'm going to try it. We're going to risk it. We're going to see what comes up with cello. And okay, not bad actually. Some good tutorials here. Oh, I mean, for me, who's a complete layman, what's the difference between a violin and a cello?
Yeah,
there we go. That's one worth potentially making. And then just refresh again. There you go. That could be an interesting vlog one. Why am I a cello player? You tell a little bit more of your story. And, as a motivational, I know on Think Media, Sean did a video very recently that was really motivational, Heather. And, that could be in a similar vein to why anybody should become a cello player. So again, quick bit of research there. Only took me 30 seconds, and I'm already got some ideas brewing if I knew how to play a cello.
Really good, Rob. And I hope that gives you some different titles that you could go with. And I'm seeing here that he is trying to dominate the shorts game. So he's going all in on shorts for his cello uh, channel. And when I'm looking through just kind of some of the shorts, well, let's see, because success leaves clues. So what could you make part twos of? Why celloists don't do this? That's a smart one. So that you could even make a part two of that. Is there a difference between, oh, that's good. So difference between the amount of the cellos. That's really smart. And then looks like you're going into, I'm definitely out of my depths of knowledge in this space, but I would think that this is probably a song or a person who, what is it called? Composed a song there. So I would say that success will leave clues. And I was also just looking just on YouTube. I just typed in cello because I wanted to see what would come up, and top cello covers of popular songs. So I don't know if you're doing covers, but it looks like here I'm getting just a lot of different cello, like learn to play the cello for beginners online. I mean, you already have courses on this, so I would maybe make one of this and get yourself in this ranking area as well to be driving traffic to your online courses. And that was our take on what you should be doing as a cello player. Okay, this question comes from I Eat Bubbles. Not sure what your channel is about. I don't know if your channel is actually about eating bubbles. I've not clicked on it yet, but I have a podcast for my channel. A good thing? Is having a podcast for my channel a good thing? What do you think about this, Rob?
Good question. And my thoughts and opinions are starting to percolate a little bit as YouTube is actively encouraging people to now put their podcasts on the YouTube platform.
Mm-hmm.
Traditionally, I've always thought that if I was, I listen to podcasts, I very rarely watched them. And so to turn what I think is an audio format into something visually interesting, you're going to have to put a lot of effort into setting up, like a studio, running it through StreamYards. There's a lot more overhead to do that. But I think YouTube are definitely working on ways to make podcasts more integrated into channels. Whether that means there's going to be a dedicated podcast shelf, like there's a short shelf, that would make the most sense to me. I'm not entirely sure, but I think Creator Insider recently did a video about podcasts, and you know when you're you can see the chips or the bubbles at the top of the screen, and you can search through different topics. Podcast is becoming one of them. So from a YouTube perspective, they are well aware of podcasts, and they are, I think, at the moment, just slightly nudging people to start experimenting with podcasts. But as I say, you've also got to think about the visual element. We audited a channel yesterday that had just started their podcast channel, and every single thumbnail was exactly the same. And every single title started with episode X, and then maybe what it was about. And then when we were watching the podcast, there was no B-roll, there was no switching of clips. It was, visually a little boring to watch. And so if you are going to do podcasts, you really have to appreciate that you're on a visual medium as well. But those are kind of like my initial first impressions. Like, we haven't tried to introduce podcasts onto the vidIQ channel yet, but we are live streaming on a podcast channel right now, Heather. So I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, we went back and forth on if we were going to put our podcast, that's the channel we're on right now, the Think Media podcast channel, if we were going to put that actually on our Think Media channel. And for us, we really wanted to know what was the value proposition that that our channel was. Like, why do people subscribe to the Think Media channel? And we wanted to go deeper in the conversations as creators. We wanted to go deeper in different interviews that maybe step outside of just YouTube in general, meaning like monetizing your channel, doing live events, writing books, different ways that you could be actually in the creator economy. And we knew that that wasn't quite the value proposition of the Think Media channel itself. itself, where we do a lot of tech gear reviews. We do a lot of YouTube specific tips. And we wanted to have a space where we could step outside of that and have longer form conversations around those. And so we decided to do it on a separate channel. Now, I do not recommend that people run 2 channels at one time. We actually didn't even start our podcast. We waited 2 years to start it because we wanted to have the right team in place. Because when you are already a content creator on one channel and now you're doubling the amount of work that you have to do, that's not a wise idea. So we wanted to make sure that there was team around us. So I have an editor for the podcasting show. I have a producer that's helping me with the show or with the podcast. So it's not just me and Sean making that possible. I would say too, I do agree with you, Rob, that YouTube is leaning more into this because of successfully proven podcasts like the Joe Rogan podcast, Valuetainment podcast, all these podcasts that are really popping up in more video form. But you're right, there's an initial investment into it. And the other part of it too is, like you said, if someone is used to just listening, then getting them to be a viewer isn't what you're trying to do. You're actually trying to reach 2 different audiences. So now you're even splitting your time even more because an audio experience is different than a video experience. And so I would say that it is a great way to build an audience. It's more of a slower way. There's other ways to grow faster on YouTube's, i.e. YouTube Shorts, i.e. influence surfing or trend surfing or making videos that have the potential of going viral. Podcasts, you are asking someone to invest a lot of time with you. And if you're not very large yet, that might not be the best way to get started. So that would be some of my advice on podcasting specifically. Rob, what channel do you have up next?
Next, we have up Weird Data. And I'm not going to lie, I have a bit of a soft spot for channels that just display data in a visually satisfying way. That's the good part of this. And I can see that although they've hidden their subscriber count, I'm guessing they've got, I'm going to guess in the region of between 1,000 subscribers plus, because some of their videos get hundreds of views. Some of their videos get tens of thousands of views. What I'm going to say about this channel, though, is that when you tend to have these really interesting channels which do something new and it's never been seen before, the problem is it gets seen very often, very quickly. And I've seen channels like this for years with the, I'll play one, but I'll mute it to make sure we don't get any copyright music claims. But I've been seeing these types of channels for years. And so my concern is, how is this channel any different from the thousands of data analysis channels that I've already seen? And that's where what tends to happen again in these areas is that you get 1 or 2 channels that completely dominate this space, and it's very difficult for anybody else to interfere. But again, yeah, it's really visually satisfying. These 3D blocks rotating and rising, and this always keeps you on the edge of, ooh, what's next? So it's Discord. All right. Another second later, Instagram, misspelt, unfortunately. But I'm getting that instant gratification every couple of seconds of what's coming next. And so that will help with audience retention. I guess how you may be able to tackle this is that you become a data analyst for a particular topic. Maybe it's sports teams, maybe it's food, maybe it's military, maybe it's global demographics. If I sort by most popular, is there any particular thing that's better than anything else? I guess at the moment, we've got like a needle in a haystack result in terms of we've got geology, we've got flags, we've got cartoon characters, we've got soft drinks, we've got legendary heroes. Would it be better to maybe niche down into one of these areas and be the master of that particular area? Something perhaps worth experimenting with in the next 5 videos. And I do want to stress as well, Heather, this is kind of my personal opinion in terms of these types of channels. And I think once one channel does this successfully, tons of other channels try to replicate it, and it becomes an oversaturated market very quickly. I mean, a year or 2 ago, it was those like bar graphs that were competing with each other, and then they would go up and down. I think it was Flourish, the data website, where you could do that. And I made a couple, but I knew very quickly that I was going to be overtaken by channels that were dedicated to making that type of content. And we had to stop doing it because it just wasn't really appealing to our audience. But yeah, this channel will suffer from spiky views, I think, depending on the topic that they're covering.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for that one, Rob. And I also like these kind too. I know my kids and I, especially since we homeschool, we actually love these types of channels for specific information, specific data. But you're right. I go to like one channel for one type of topic, not necessarily just an overview of different topics. So I love that review. This one is True Malme. I hope I'm saying that your name correctly. And she's been on YouTube for a year now, been creating content for a year at 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations on hitting the 1,000 subscriber mark. And I have a little bit of feedback for you. When I went to your About page, at first I saw your channel, and number one, I want you to check out the different thumbnail videos that we have here on Think Media. Maybe someone in the comments could recommend one of those videos by posting that inside of there for me. But we have several different videos around actual thumbnail design, because I want to help you get better at your thumbnails. When I look at things like thanks for watching, please kindly subscribe, I'm not actually, that to me is such an ask versus giving real solid a value in what you're actually doing on your channel. So I went over and I looked at your About page so that I could get more information about what you're doing. And here is one of the main new creator mistakes that people make. I love that you're creating content on a regular basis. I love that you've been creating content for a year now, but we have got to decide what this channel is about. Let me read this paragraph, Rob. Okay.
Yep.
This channel is for motivation, advice, and encouragement. I also share my experience and life stories of how I traveled from Lebanon to Europe, marriage advice, parenthood advice, and I also share videos of English countryside and cities. I also vlog and do reaction videos. And that is 7 channels in one channel. So I'm going to challenge you to pick one or two. You could do marriage and parenting advice. You could do all about traveling from Lebanon to Europe and all about the English countryside. You could even include your experience and your life stories in those. But I'm going to encourage you to actually pick one, because when I come down here and I look at the videos that you're creating, I think you have a shot at being a very highly viewed YouTuber, because of I was watching some of your videos about the experiences that you've had. However, this is not feeding enough information to YouTube or to the audience about what you are doing. So I want you to go deeper. I'm seeing like silent videos. So these are videos that you're making. That's it. That's its own channel. That's its own style of channel. I see live streams where you're talking about your infertility. That could be its own channel, or it could just be one in the terms of parenting and motherhood and marriage. So I want you to go deeper on figuring out what your channel is all about. Now, here's one thing that I do love. You've actually got a good base of an audience that's watching what you're doing. I'm seeing your videos between 100 and 300, but there hasn't quite been the massive breakout videos yet. You're getting 2,000 here, but again, this is about a specific place. This is about a specific place. This is about a specific place. So if I were to look at the clues of what's working on your channel so far, I would say this is working on your channel. So I want you to study your top 10 videos and take notes of what's working. Was it your intro? Was it the title? Was it the thumbnail? What was consistent in those top 10 videos, so that you can start making more of those videos? I want to encourage you to keep going, because I see that you're live streaming. You've got some live streams scheduled and coming up. So congratulations on getting content out there, but we need to rein it in a little bit and really decide on what your channel is about. All right, Rob, what is your last review for today?
I did just have one quick question, Heather, if you go back to the channel. What's your opinion on smaller creators premiering content? Because I've noticed this channel's, they're premiering something in, what's that, 3 days time?
Yeah. I think that I think that for creators to stay consistent, they should know that they're doing it. But I don't actually feel like premieres as a small channel is a tactic that is something that you would need to do. I think just go
Agreed.
live if you're going to go live. Premieres are really great if you have built that audience, because what you do in a premiere is you get a lot of people to watch at that one time, and YouTube is triggered and they go, whoa, there's a lot of people here right now. Let's get this out to more people. And it's a way for you to have a conversation during the premiere. So we will premiere, we premiere what we call our marathon videos on Think Media. Those are our videos that are longer. They're about 45 minutes, and it's like a movie premiere. Basically, we show up with our popcorn and we talk in the chat, and we make it an event. But we actually don't overuse that. We really make it an event to be a part of. And I see a lot of small creators that will just make this like anytime they go live, they do a premiere.
Yeah.
So not necessary to do.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I still think of YouTube as being something where everything is immediately accessible. So the moment I see that something is premiering in like a few days' time and it's a thumbnail that's on my browse page, it's like really frustrating because you're showing me something that I can't watch. Why are you doing that to me, YouTube? But that's just a personal opinion. But I also share your thoughts in that if you haven't built up a community and you aren't able to build up anticipation with a large audience that's going to flood that premiere and give you a huge dollop of watch time when the video first goes out, it's probably just to publish it when you're ready to publish it.
Yes. And thank you so much for being here for the live stream. Rob's got one more for us. So who's the lucky last one today, Rob?
Buff Bass Fishing Adventures with a kind of Indiana Jones font there. I kind of like that.
I love it.
What I want to say about this channel is that for its size and for the number of videos that they've made in 1 month, I'm going to make an assumption that this might not be the might not be the creator's first channel, because there are so many fundamentals that are on point here. Like this channel banner immediately tells you that it's a fishing channel. Like, and you know, if we went back to the channel that we just audited there, Heather, you would probably look at that channel for like 20 seconds and you wouldn't be entirely sure if you're in the right place with that creator's content. But here, they're about fishing. They're about the big catch. Brilliant. The thumbnails, I think, are phenomenal because whenever we audit fishing channels, the one thing we always ask is, what is the hero of the thumbnail? And it's usually the catch, the fish that you have. And you can see that this creator is trying to show the scale of a catch whenever they can, which is fantastic. And even when they're reviewing a product, which looks like it is here, they're making sure that they have the arrow pointing to it. And so again, it's telling my eyes where to go on the thumbnail. And also, many fishing channels do this thing where they contrast blues and greens because that's kind of a landscape they're usually in, and they're doing that very effectively. So all I have here is nothing but praise. They're experimenting with shorts. The shorts are getting fantastic views. It's one of these where I maybe just want to quickly watch one of the shorts. I'll make sure to mute it just in case there's any music. And I'm trying to see how quickly the shot is. Oh, they've got the catch. We're straight in there. No messing about. Now he's wrestling about with a fish, showing a bit of slow motion there. You know, there's no wasted effort in this shot. This is visually satisfying. There you are. And I've got the catch there. That took, what, 15 seconds? I guess what I wouldn't do is fade to black. I would just loop it next. I would loop it immediately round because I knew the shot had ended then, and I would swipe onto the next one. But yeah, for a channel that's what, Heather, a month in, they've made like 30 videos. They've already got past 100 subscribers. So they've got their custom URL. They've already got shorts that are getting thousands of views. Yeah, it's all success. Big thumbs up. This is a template channel that I think any creator could look at for things in terms of thumbnails, in terms of channel focus, in terms of consistency, and the video quality looks very good as well. I'm sorry, Buff Bass Fishing Adventures, if I haven't really given you too much advice, but it's just carry on what you're doing. And I would estimate within 3 to 6 months, you'll probably monetize this channel.
Yeah, that's exactly what I see too. And Rob, can you start a channel where you're reacting, cuz your voice over his fishing experience right there like elevated the whole thing. So, that was pretty awesome. And you're right. This is a great channel to end on, to show the great things that you can do on YouTube, how you can take a hobby and turn it into a career. And I am so excited to see what happens with this channel. If you just stay consistent, if you just keep making great videos, great thumbnails, build out your channel a little bit more with, more just consistent content. And I think you're going to see a lot of success happening, because this is a huge space. Part of the thing that we talk about too, Rob, and when it comes to picking what your channel should even be about, is you want to make sure that you're passionate about it. I'm sure he's passionate about bass fishing, right? That he's actually here creating a channel about this, but also, are you proficient in it? He's catching fish. Yes, he's proficient in catching fish, but is it a profitable niche as well? And when you think about the stores dedicated to just fishing, when you think about the magazines just to fishing, when you think about the online stores that are just for fishing, you know that there is a market that you can jump into when it comes to that. So I think that that was a great channel to end with. We want to remind you that if you have not already gotten your vidIQ, you can go to vidIQ.com/think to get your first 30 days of vidIQ for free. Rob, thank you so much for being my lovely co-host today on the channel. We're going to be over on the vidIQ channel, I think, next week, because you guys do channel reviews over there live once a week, once every 2 weeks. What's your schedule right now?
So we do channel audits every Tuesday at the same time as when we went live here, 11 a.m. PST. And we're also continuing to experiment with video audits, whereby we play a video. And you know how I was reacting to that shot just then, we talk about like, if the intro was going to keep me hooked, like how is the production quality? Are they using end screens? And those are on Wednesdays. So whichever one you're invited to, Heather, we're looking forward to it.
I'm excited for that. Well, thank you so much, Rob. And if you would like to check out our podcast here, you can click or tap on the next video that shows up on the screen. If you want to see another channel review from Heather and Rob, you can click or tap the screen right now, and we'll catch you in the next show.
Are you ready to start or grow your YouTube channel? Do you feel stuck and need help connecting the dots? Join this free web class where you'll learn the step-by-step playbook for YouTube success. We've helped thousands of purpose-driven entrepreneurs just like you grow their influence with video. Register today for this exclusive training at thinkmasterclass.com.